The applause was deafening. Bright lights washed over the stage while cameras flashed like distant lightning. My daughter stood behind the podium, elegant, confident, adored. "First, I want to thank my mother," she said, voice trembling with emotion. "The woman who sacrificed everything for me." The crowd applauded again. She smiled, radiant. Then she kept going. "My professors, my mentors, my friends who believed in me." More applause. I sat in the third row, still, waiting. Surely she would say it next. "Father." But the word never came. Instead, she laughed softly and leaned closer to the microphone. "And to everyone who supported me when I had no one else." The crowd responded with sympathetic murmurs. No one else. Interesting choice of words. Because I was there, exactly 22 feet away. I watched her scan the audience. Her eyes passed over me, paused, then slid away like I was a stranger accidentally sitting in the wrong seat. A tiny controlled smile formed on my lips. Ah, so this is how the story ends, or perhaps how it begins. When the ceremony ended, people rushed to congratulate her. Photographers surrounded her like flies to sugar. I stood slowly, adjusted my cufflinks, and waited. Because tonight, the truth would finally breathe. It hadn't started tonight. No. The first crack appeared 6 months ago. A phone call. Thanksgiving. I remember the exact words because cruelty always has perfect clarity. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." My daughter-in-law's voice exploded through the phone speaker. Loud, mocking. Some people nearby in the cafe looked up. I simply listened. "You think we're your servants?" she continued. "You're lucky we even invite you." My son said nothing in the background. Not a word. Silence can be louder than insults. I leaned back in my chair and watched the rain slide down the window. "Understood," I said calmly. She snorted. "Good, be here at 3. I ended the call. "Enjoy." That was my reply. Just one word. Enjoy. Because something had changed in my children over the years. Respect had slowly been replaced with embarrassment. Embarrassment had turned into distance. Distance became contempt. They believed I was poor, a nobody, a retired accountant who lived quietly in a modest house. They didn't know about Switzerland. They didn't know about the holding companies. They didn't know about the billions quietly compounding across continents. And most importantly, they didn't know why I kept it hidden. But their behavior made the experiment very educational. After that call, I stopped initiating contact. Silence is the most accurate diagnostic tool for relationships. If someone values you, they notice the silence. If they don't, weeks pass easily. 3 weeks passed, then 6, then 2 months. Nothing. No calls, no curiosity, until something interesting happened. A real estate photographer uploaded a portfolio online. A villa, Swiss Alps, glass walls overlooking a frozen lake. The property belonged to one of my companies. I allowed the listing photos to circulate publicly. Then I posted one of them on my rarely used social account. No caption. Just the image. White stone villa. Infinity pool. Snow-covered mountains. Within minutes, the algorithm did the rest. My daughter saw it first. I know because she liked the photo, then removed the like 30 seconds later. The phone rang. Once, twice, 5 times. I didn't answer. By evening, 71 missed calls. Interesting how quickly curiosity awakens when luxury appears. I waited 3 days before responding. The award ceremony invitation arrived that same week. Guest of honor, my daughter. Entrepreneur of the year. Irony has excellent timing, which brings us back to the auditorium. After her speech, she stepped down from the stage. The crowd surrounded her. Her eyes found me again. This time, she couldn't avoid it. Recognition flashed, then discomfort, then calculation. She approached slowly. "Dad," she said carefully. I studied her face. So familiar, so distant. "Congratulations," I said. She nodded awkwardly. "I didn't know you were coming." "Of course not." She hesitated, then asked the question burning behind her eyes. "That house, on your page, is it real?" There it was. Not "how are you?" Not "are you proud of me?" Just the house. I smiled faintly. "Yes." Her pupils widened. "You own it?" "Among other things." She swallowed. "Why didn't you ever tell us?" A reasonable question, but the answer was simpler than she expected. I was measuring something. Her brows furrowed. What? Character. The host returned to the stage for closing remarks. I stood and walked toward the podium. Confusion rippled through the room. The organizer whispered, "Sir." I gently took the microphone. "My name," I said calmly, "is the father our award winner forgot to mention tonight." Soft laughter spread through the audience. My daughter froze. I found that omission fascinating. I placed a small envelope on the podium. Inside were documents, shareholder records, corporate ownership charts, Swiss property deeds, numbers large enough to make bankers nervous. I spent 40 years building a financial ecosystem. Most people will never understand, I continued. The room went silent. My children believed I was poor. I glanced at my daughter. Her face had gone pale. I allowed that belief to continue because it reveals the true architecture of love. Phones began recording. My daughter thanked everyone tonight, I said softly, except the man who funded her first company. Anonymously, gasps spread through the hall. She stared at me, horror dawning. Yes, I said quietly. That was me. After the ceremony ended, the calls started again. My phone vibrated constantly. My son, my daughter-in-law. Apologies, explanations, urgent requests to talk. I turned the phone face down on the table. Outside the hotel window, the city lights shimmered like distant stars. Family. Such a fragile word. It collapses the moment money enters the room. I poured a glass of wine and opened my laptop. A new will document waited on the screen. Charitable foundations. Research institutions. Hospitals. My children's names were absent. Not out of anger. Simply accuracy. They had already shown me their valuation. And tonight, I returned the favor. I signed the document, closed the laptop, and for the first time in years, I felt absolutely nothing.